A Dunn County, North Dakota man was sentenced to 37 years in prison yesterday on child pornography charges. Jason Hutchinson was convicted on 3 counts of producing and 8 counts of attempting to produce images depicting the sexual exploitation of children. In 2023, a report was made to law enforcement that Hutchinson was placing hidden cameras in bathrooms on his properties to capture those images of minors. A search warrant was obtained, and it was determined that Hutchinson had been engaging in that practice since 1992. According to officials, Hutchinson admitted to police and the court that he had captured images of at least 11 different minors, ranging in the age from 5 years old to 17 years old.